Okay, so if Christ is the wisest man, so why aren't we able to follow him? So number one, we are given a free will, so we have the capacity to choose. And second, sometimes we don't follow him because we are foolish in ourselves. It's like Christ is giving us this good food, and sometimes out of foolishness, out of disobedience, or sometimes out of our own choices, kasi gusto lang natin mag-rebel, we don't follow it. So, it's basically our choice. He is not taking away our choice, but He is only asking us to obey Him because His commands are the best for us. Practical siya because Christ's teachings kasi is calling us to a higher way of life. It's calling us to be better. So, yun nga, based sa first question, sometimes we don't follow it because we choose to become foolish. Ganon. It's like, for example, yung sell all your possessions. I truly kasi believe na what you chase after, you become. Yung isabihan ni God ng sell all your possessions, that's a rich young man, di ba? He's asking that person to sell his possessions because if not, yung possessions niya magiging God niya. And anything that you adore that's greater than God will be your God. So if Christ will not be my God, then it's either my possessions will be my God. I'll start at the beginning. So, God created man in His own image and likeness. And in man, He put this hunger to always go for spiritual things, go for higher things. That's why we are always going for higher learning. Diba? We have this vacuum kasi we have this emptiness inside us that cannot be filled by anything. So we tried philosophy. So in our constant search, they have found answers, but they are fragments. So when Christ came, kato sila na fragments, those fragments, they can all be seen in Christ. So what man is trying to reach by their own knowledge, their own philosophies, their own efforts, they can be perfectly found in Christ. In the beginning, God was already there. And naana na ang knowledge. But because we have seen, murag na separate na and nanay barriers. But when Christ came, they are whole. That's why makita nato usahay. We can see that Christ's teachings are sometimes can be found dun kay Buddha because merong nag-grasp yung teaching ni Buddha na something na ma-made perfect siya by just looking and listening to Christ. Because yun siya ang truly the perfect answer to everything.
The reason why Christians are unable to follow Christ's commandment is that, first of all, we have sinful nature. So we have foolishness in ourselves, so we don't obey Christ's commandment, even though we know that His commandment is the wisest commandment. And secondly, we have capacity to choose our own choice. So we make our own decisions and choice on everything. And lastly, Christ only asks us to follow His commandments. He does not force us, or He does not control us. He just waits us to follow Him.
It is really impractical since God is calling us to change and go beyond what we do or what we can imagine. And that changes our way of life. God is calling us to a higher way of life for us to be a better man, not in the eyes of other people, but in the eyes of God. We always ask for something that it can satisfy our needs. In a man, his goods or his riches become his God that he serves. Everything that we adore that is greater than God will be our God. If Christ will not be our God, it could be our careers, our money, our family, or our relationship with other people.
according to her, man is designed to be in relationship with God, but because of sin, this relationship has been broken. Thus, man is searching for higher things which can be found in God. People like Buddha, philosophers, and many other religious sects have found answers, but these answers were just mere fragments. When Christ came, all these fragments have been completed or been made whole. Some teachings might sound very similar, but at the end, it is not the question of being original or not, because God is the only source of all knowledge.